There we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Hi.
Really nice to see you again today. It is November 4th, 2020, and we are where we are. And I'm really looking forward to doing Tai Chi with you all today. We're at an interesting point in this module of Grasp the Bird's Tail. As I've mentioned to you guys before, Grasp the Bird's Tail is the signature set of movements for Yang Family Tai Chi. It's a small enough thing that we can do it, and it's one of the first things you learn, but it's very, very rich and very, very deep. And so we're going to be kind of going through today and again, tying some of those tools we've been putting into our toolkit into these moves. Hi, Crystal, nice to see you. And we'll be, and Maria, yeah, hello. And we're going to be tying them again to our toolkit. We have several folks who are completely new to Tai Chi in this class as well. And I want to make sure that we go over the actual movements themselves. And you would be surprised. You would be surprised how many little details of these movements take years to figure out. So number one, I want to say it's all very deep and you're learning a lot at the same time. And so if you're just learning it, feel free to sketch it. Feel free to say, you know what, I'm not going to do that today, because there's little details that you get over the years and you kind of go, oh yeah, I do kind of remember mentioning something like that, but you know, it takes a long time. So if you can just kind of get there, that's good. And then little by little, you can pick a place where you're kind of getting there and say, hey, could you help me get a little more than kind of? And that will work. And that's true for everybody. So I want to also emphasize that if you've been taking it for years and I say something that doesn't feel right, ask a question. Or if I don't say something that, you know, like you're scratching your head and getting curious about something, please ask. Don't worry about at what level you're asking. This is a class for everybody. So that's kind of what we're doing today. Is we've been introduced to all the moves, but if you guys could like remember those moves who are new, I would be just totally appalled, because I certainly couldn't. I couldn't for a long, long time. So if that's where you are, you're in just the right place. And I think all the other people who are here would agree with you because they've been through this before. And doing it on Zoom is particularly challenging. We're going to do some stuff today where we are sometimes going to be mirrored and sometimes not. And I'm going to try to be really careful about how I say that. When we're warming up right now, we're going to be mirrored, which means don't pay any attention that like, this is my right arm, but don't pay any attention that it's my right arm. Just look at me. And if I lift this arm up, you lift this arm up, you know, and if I lift this arm up, you lift this arm up and all that. Yeah, fabulous. I can see people doing that, right? So yeah, so even if this is not the same arm as yours, when I say mirror me, that means just look at what I'm doing, right? And pretend that I'm a mirror. If that's particularly hard for you, you can do it a different way, because most of the time we'll be doing it on both sides. But it'll be easier for you if you do, because on Zoom it gets kind of complicated. So let's run through our prepare move. The very first move in the form is prepare. This is when we get into our Tai Chi bodies. So let's stand very erect, relaxed, proud, extended, and feel our feet, ground them. The entire soles of your feet are connected to the ground. And then hook that head up, kind of extend your neck, droop those shoulders, sink those shoulders, and feel the very, very top of your head. Perhaps you have a very light fishbowl on the top. You're kind of balancing it there. And you're going to hook the top of your head to the clouds or the sun or whatever is the image you want, to just feel connected at the bottom with your roots and at the top. And then in between, explore that. Do you have the same weight on both feet? How is that backbone of yours? Is it kind of crunched? Could it extend? Could it maybe add an extra 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch? Sort of the bottom of your hip area, sort of relaxing down, and the spine extending. Imagine a little bit of your lower body being a gorilla, just a little bit, just a little bit. Does that relax your whole area in your hips and crotch area? See if you can do that. Make sure that your knees are soft and your lower back is relaxed and long. Hang tiny, tiny weights to the ends of your fingers. And then we're going to do opening together, where we feel our extension across the back of our shoulders, and then our arms float up, extending as they do until we get to shoulder height. And then the first thing to droop is kind of our upper arms and elbows, but we're still extended and we push down. Lovely, guys. Lovely. And then we're going to do that again. Feel that extension across the back. It kind of turns your arms and up. This is opening. Are your knees still soft? Are you still feeling extended and calm? And now we're going to go into that exercise we've done before, where we're going to do another opening. But as we get to the top, we're just going to make a wave, and little by little, we're going to bend as we come down. And we're going to inhale as we come up, making another wave. You're still very extended, and exhale on the way down. Synchronizing what is happening in the lower body and the upper body. And doing that in part because our breathing isn't synchronized. And if you want to do it a little faster or slower than I'm doing it, because boy, it just doesn't feel synchronized to you, that works. Oh, you guys look so good. One more time. Up, and let's go out. And as we come in, we'll sink. And then pull like taffy coming out. Maybe a little wave. And in to sink. You can do this with your breathing too. Inhaling and exhaling as you come back in. Imagine that there's some kind of squishy balloon. Oh gosh, you guys look so coordinated. I love it. Kind of a squishy balloon, or your arms in sort of very viscous water. All integrated, lovely. And as you come down, stand up. Wonderful, good job. Looks really good. Any questions about that? So prepare is now that hooking up and getting ourselves centered. And then the opening is really when we're not going up and down, the very first thing that we did. We're going to do that later as part of Grasp the Bird's Tail. Rima, did you have a question?
A technical one. For some reason, you were very soft on my system today. Is it only me? I had to crank up the speaker and the Zoom volume all the way, and
Are
I'm
other,
still like straining.
oh dear,
Is it only me or is it everyone?
I don't know. I think it's only you.
Okay,
Sorry.
never mind.
I
All
guess
right.
that's good for the class.
Yeah.
I guess that's good for the class. So see if you can work out those technical problems. You look lovely doing it. So uh, hopefully that will work out. All right, I want to go back. I want to go through a lot of these basics and pieces of the Grasp the Bird's Tail again. Really get that into your body. I think we all really need to be in our bodies today. So let's do that. I'd like to go back to that gorilla push that we've done before. And you know what? We've done a lot of bow steps. So here's a place where you can mirror me again. So if you want to take the, you can shift over to one side and come out. Remember, we're doing the bow step, moving over, unfolding, heel, ball, toe, bend knee, and get your gorillas on. Yeah, there you go. That's good. That's good. And then we're going to put those arms out. Put those arms out. Reach out. Imagine just for a moment you're a gorilla and you're going to grab. Okay. And did you remember? Check those feet. Check that you're open here, really rounded and open in your crotch area, and that your knees are going in the same directions as your toes. Really sink into that. Relax this. Gorillas, are like their lower body is really strong. So get your strength on and be at the corner. Then turn that upper body straight. Remember, turn that upper body straight towards the camera, right? And put your arms out. Now, hopefully you're going to feel more centered with that. I want you to pull in, bend that back knee, straighten that front one, and over the garage door and push up the diagonal. Nice. Oh, I can see those pushes. And grab, back, and up the diagonal. Can you really push up? And when you finish, your back leg will be straight and your front leg will be bent. Let's turn now here. Well, now everybody will have their left leg forward. So this is a little different for you. You'll have your left leg forward. I want you to be able to kind of be next to me. Fabulous. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to come back over the garage door and push. Your weight is always on both feet. We'll do it again. Back over the garage door and push. But there's more weight as a knee is bent. Make sense? And observe your upper body as you come back. I want you to keep a little tilt in the upper body, and as you come forward and extend, yeah, nice. Now it should be one line. So look at yourself. If you can see yourself in a little picture, it should kind of be one line to your back foot. So you can look in your picture and you see how I kind of have a line from my shoulder all the way down to my heel. All right, so we're going to put that that right foot forward. We're going to come over here and put the right foot forward and do the same thing. And be a gorilla. come back and push. Nice. Reach out, back, and push. This is push, which is one of our moves. We won't actually reach, but right now I want you to imagine reaching to get that extension, and then really imagine you've grabbed and you're pulling somebody in, and then you're pushing up that diagonal. Get that real feel of pushing. Yeah, light, nice. One more time. When we actually do it, our hands will just, go out and extend into this position. But if you imagine that pull and that push, your body will, and the gorilla, your body will probably be in the right position. Any questions about push? All right. One of the things to point out is that your arms go over that garage door and then they go up the diagonal. And whenever you're pushing with the whole palm. Talked about that before.
Dee Dee, I
Yes.
have no idea what you mean by going over the garage door.
Sorry.
What kind of a
Thank
garage
you.
door do you have?
I don't actually have a garage, and boy, do I wish I did here in the Pacific Northwest. But do you know, like one of those, like people lift up their garage door, and it goes up like this.
Okay, so one that's not
Kind of makes a curve like this.
Okay.
So if you bring it down, actually, so if this is the garage door, my hands are the garage door, it kind of would come down like this and hit the ground there.
Okay, got it. Thank
you are the first person to ask that, but you know what? That is a really smart question. Like, what the heck is this garage door she keeps talking about? Good job.
Thanks.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so I want to connect that. You'll recall that we did some other things. So I want to remind you of that. So do you remember that we turned our upper bodies and we kind of whipped around? Do you remember that? And you could even imagine that you kind of have a little paint on here. So you're sort of painting, but then as you turn back, you do this almost Queen's wave in. And we did this, do you remember? Remember that? Get that feel, yeah, get that feeling of the whip. So I wanted to remind you of that. Yeah, so it's turn, 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 turn back, and it keeps doing the circle, right? Turn, 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 turn back, and it does a circle, and it goes from a push, Queen's wave, in. And actually, one of our arms in two of these moves does this. This is part of rollback. We turn, 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 turn. We stop briefly. Then we turn back, and it comes back. Again, you can mirror me. Turn, 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 turn. Turn back. Other hand. Turn, 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 turn. Turn back. Yeah. Turn, 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 turn. Turn back. And this would be part of rollback. Rolling back and into press. Getting ready for press anyway. And this would be rolling back and into press. But I want you to remember in your body, kind of like the gorilla thing, right? That what it really is like you went whomp, like you're doing something and then you do it back, it's like, right? So, and it all comes from here. It all comes from here. So you're not going to necessarily feel it all the time, but some of us will find that useful. That you're kind of whipping that arm around and bringing it back in. whipping that arm around and bringing it back in. So let's review roll back and press and push, since we didn't do that much last week. I still would like you to mirror me, because you can. and at first, we're just going to do it with our legs straight. So put up an arm, and remember we had our arms like this, and then we turned our body, and then we put an arm here, right? And we actually know what that is now. That's like grasping a bird's tail, right? A little tiny bird, right? But that's what that is. Okay, now we want to queen's wave to the corner. And how do we do that? We power the arms, both arms queen's wave. We power the arms by turning our upper body. Lovely. And then we turn that upper body all the way to the other corner, right? That would be the end of the rollback arms. Nice, you're still pushing out. Don't forget, you're still pushing out with that upper hand. And then we're gonna queen's wave, whip it in as we turn back. Nice, and press out. We're gonna do that on the other side. Here we go. We're gonna turn this way. This back hand is gonna come here. Other hand, Rima. There you go, there you go. And we're gonna turn this way. There you go, pushing out. And then we're gonna turn all the way to that other corner. That's the end of rollback. And then the circle continues with that right now front towards the camera pushing arm. And we're gonna circle in as we turn back and press out. Okay, wonderful. You guys look like you're getting that. So that's a review of the arms. I think we should do this though with some legs. Okay, it's going to be easier now if we go go in each direction. So we're going to do it in each direction. So you have some experience doing this on both sides. I want your right foot forward and your left foot, out to the corner. So you're in a bow step. And I want your weight, both knees could be bent, but then straighten the back knee. And you're in this nice, lovely line. Put your right arm, it will now be your right arm, right? Put your right arm so that your elbow is over your knee, and grasp the small bird's tail. Now, what we're going to do is turn to the right, queen's wave to that corner as we turn. And we could look down at our left hand and, I don't know, read a book, because we could have written something on our palm. Now, I want you to push with your right foot and bend your left knee as you don't move your arms. You're just going to turn to the corner. Turn your body to the corner. Great. And then reel in your arm for press and press out. Okay, so we're going to do this. I realize now that you are I could see you beautifully, but you couldn't see me in part of that. So we're going to do it again on this side. And we're going to be with the right foot forward and our right arm up, right elbow over our right knee. Gorillaing our legs, getting really connected. And you'll turn away from me away from the camera originally. We're going to turn to the right corner. You'll be turning away probably. Okay. Then I want you to keep your arms where they are. I want you to shift back, opening to the other corner, which is where your arms are going. Then after a very brief pause, we're going to keep that right arm circling in as we turn back. And then we're going to press out. Nice. Oh, you guys look great. I want to compliment you guys on having these really nice upper bodies. It's really easy in this to end up like this, really. And you know, when you come in, it's close, but then it comes back out, you know. And you guys are doing a really, really nice job of having a nice body shape where you're round. So congratulations on that. That's really good. Keep that up. So this is a review of roll back and press. Any questions? Would you like to do that one more time on that side? Or are you good? One more time on that side. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time on that side. I'm actually gonna do it on this side because this is in fact the side that you'll be that you'll be doing it. So if you line up next to me, this is my right hand, this will be your hand. Put your arm up sort of like a shelf. Remember, if you're standing in the corner, you're really standing in the corner like this, but you've dropped that left hand and it's here now. It's grasping the small bird's tail. Then we're going to just turn the upper body until the upper body is square to the, in my case, the side of the room and in front of you. And you're pushing out to the corner with that right hand. You're looking there too. Keep your gaze with your right hand if you're ready for that. Push with the right foot, absorb with the left foot, bend that left knee. You're coming back and you're open to the corner and your arms are to the corner. That's the end of roll back. Check that your right arm is not and shoulder are not up. It's very easy for them to be up at this point. You want to droop that elbow, always droop that elbow. Now we're going to turn back, and when we do that, right arm is going to continue its circle and come in, and our left arm is going to get ready to press out. Lovely. Then we're going to push and press out. It's a press, not a push. Expanding out. Fabulous. And now let's unreel our arms, turning the last little bit of way so that we're square to this side. Grab on to your guy you're going to push, pull him in, come back, and push. Nice. All right. So those are the 3 moves we gave really short shrift last week, but you had learned them before. And again, there's a lot in there, but I wanted to review them bit by bit by bit so that when we get to them today, maybe you'll be a little more empowered. And if those of you who've done this before think of something, it might be keeping your gorilla on, it might be keeping those elbows drooped, it might be your body shape. But when you're practicing it, if you already know everything else, then I want you to pick something that you can add in so that you're really working on it. For those of you for which this is new, you're probably going to want to listen to my call or peek over your shoulder or whatever you have to do, like, oh my gosh, what's she going to do next, right? Because that's the way it is at this point. Any questions on those moves? Okay, so what I want to do is go back to what we did last week and do a little bit more on those first 2 moves, because these first 2 moves, frankly, the first two hard moves. Left and right ward off, personally, I think are some of the most challenging moves in the whole form, especially when you're new to Tai Chi, okay? So we're gonna go back to mirroring now, and we're gonna add the legs in to our turn back, okay? So I want you to be down here like we've done before, and now we're gonna shift, turn. Now, when we turn back, guess what I want you to do? I want you to swing your arms, right? We've done that before, and turn your body back, but I want you to bend both knees. And tricky, you want to make sure you're knee bumping in the right way, right? None of this, right? None of this. So let's come back. We're gonna shift a little left, turn out to the right. All of our weight on the right side, bend both knees, turn back. It's a lot, right? Okay, let's do that again. Turn to the left, turn out to the right. Bend both knees as you shift your weight and turn back. Then we're going to close and step. Nice. And then you're going to take your lower arm and it's going to point to that. The fingers are going to point to whatever is where your fingers are almost pointing now, right? This is raise that big bird, turn to the corner. Don't expect us to be mirrored anymore. All right. And let's do it on the other side. We're going to come over to one side, turn out to the other side. Bend both knees as you turn back with that upper body. Actually, I'm supposed to be doing this. Sorry, I keep doing that habit. We're going to close step. And now this is going to have the big macaw on it. And we're going to move forward and grasp that bird's tail. And you're going to be very upright. Very, you're going to feel like you're pushing here, you're lifting here. And because you're doing both of those things at the same time, you're going to be very straight up and down. Okay? Let's do that again, mirrored. Going to shift to one side, mirrored or not, whichever way you want to do it. Going to shift to one side, turn out to the other side. And then we're going to turn back, shift our weight so we can lift up this other foot. Then we're going to big step because it's a big macaw. Close, push with the back foot and turn to the corner that's between where you were and where your fingers are now pointing. Yeah, all right. And on the other side, we're gonna shift over. Now, turn back, bend, and one pushes the button and one's down, right? And this foot doesn't have anything on it. Step out, close step. And turn in the direction of your pointing hand. You'll be kind of to the corner. One hand is up. All right. And you want to be seeing yourself as very straight, up and down. Nice. Okay. So I think one of the hardest things is this. You know, it's this or this. You see, because you're doing everything at once. You know, you're shifting the weight, but we're going to do it slowly, and I will call that out. All right. I want to go to one more little thing, and then we're going to try doing this with me calling it out and just see how we're doing, okay? And I realize I've put a lot in your brains today, but I hope I've also given you some practice at like what I mean by things. So, so one of the things, you know, we were doing before, if you'll just mirror me again, remember we were doing this and this, right? And we also did this turn, right? We did this turn. That was part of our rollback, right? Remember when we did that? That was part of our rollback, the Queen's waves. Well, I wanna show you something. So when we are, let's see, when we're here, and we remember that thing we did last week where we turned and then we turned back. We had just finished this and we're doing a right ward off, and we just turned until our feet were parallel. You remember that? And then we turned back. That I want you to just play with for a minute. So if you put your arm out, I don't care which arm it is. Okay, which arm it is. We'll do both sides. Okay. Put your, and then I want you to shift your weight and turn. Shift your weight and turn until your feet are parallel, kind of. And then I want you to push with what the foot that has the weight. And then I want you to Queen's wave and pull. So you could, do you see how you could do this? Shift your weight and pull. Shift your weight and pull. It's a very similar move. You know, we could do it like this, couldn't we? It's just a Queen's wave, right? But where we're going to be is we're going to have one arm almost straight and one arm down. And we're going to turn, and then we're going to turn back, and our arms are going to look like this. Because we're kind of grabbing here. We had something here, we're going to connect with somebody, and then we're going to grab their arm. And we're shifting weight at the same time. On the other side, if your hand is here, we're going to turn back, grab. Our hands are going to be like this because we're in grass the birds. We're in left ward off, and we're going to turn and turn back, and that turn back is going to do this again. Turn back. So you're going to end in this position that you've done before. So I'm just going to show you on both sides. It kind of looks like this. You'll notice that this foot's out to the corner and this foot's straight. I bring my feet in parallel, and this upper arm, I'm not sure how easy it is for you to see, doesn't move. Excuse me, doesn't move. But then I push with this foot and turn back, and then as I shift my weight. And then I can close and do a small bird here. And if I wanted to show it to you on the other side, see if I can do that. It would look like this. So when the problem is I'm going to be facing the other direction. So you're not going to, those of you who are new to this, it's going to be really hard for you to see. But when you finish the first move, all it is your arms come across, and then it just Queen waves and pulls. and you'll be shifting your weight. That's all it is. Your arm comes across, you queen's wave, and you pull. This is one of like the 5 questions that teachers get the most, even when we're not in Zoom classes. Like, what the heck is going on with that hand? And how do you shift weight with it? So I just wanted to point it out to you. Let's try putting all of this together. I know it's been a lot today, but let's try putting it all together. And for those of you who've done this before, you can get that feeling of when you do that turn, of the turn back and grab, of feeling really integrated. Those of you who have never, yes, very nice, Marlene, lovely. Yukiko, yes, you're getting a feel for it. You know, your arm's going to want to stay in the same, in the positions you've learned, but get that feel of being completely integrated, because that's what this basics and fundamentals is about. Let's give this a try, guys. All right. Prepare. Do you remember what this is? Running through your list, hooking your head up, being aligned, bottom heavy, feeling your feet. Opening across our back, turning our whole arms raise. At shoulder height, the upper arms and elbows droop, and we push down like we're pushing a ball into water. Till we can't push anymore, that's the end of opening. Left ward off. We're going to shift our weight to the left a little bit, turn out to the right, and then we're going to turn back, bend both knees, all of our weight on the right foot. We're pushing that button, aren't we? Then it's going to be a big macaw, so big step, or a step forward, straight forward as we close. Then push with the back foot, turn to the corner and stroke that macaw's tail. Nice, guys. Then bend that right knee. That starts you to come back just a little and moves the weight to your left heel, doesn't it? Now we can pivot on that left heel to the right until our feet are parallel. We're not moving our arms. Ah, that was a turn. Here's our turn back with that queen's wave. But what do we have to do? Power it by pushing with the ball of the right foot so that our weight comes all the way to the left. And now we're pushing the button with our left hand. The right hand's fingers are pointing down. All the weight is on the left foot. Lift that right foot. Start to just let it come to center as your arms come to center as they close, and then step out in the close. Push with the back foot, absorb to the right foot, turning to that left, turn to the left, your body to the left, but you have a shelf here for your right, for your small bird. Sorry, I almost went into left ward off. There you go. Oh, you guys look fabulous. All right, we're going to try this now. Here we are at the beginning of the rollback sequence. Queen's wave to your right corner. You're going to turn away from me. Nice. Keep those arms the same. Push with your right foot, your right leg. Absorb with your left, coming back, turning all the way to the corner. Now you're pushing out to that corner. You did not move your arms, you just sort of turned. Now into press. That right arm continues its swing around as you turn your hips back a little bit. And now you're looking in front of you and ready to press out, and you expand like a balloon was between your arms. Now you're gonna Square your upper body to your new front direction. You're going to reach, pull. You're a gorilla over that garage door, if that's helpful, and up the diagonal. Then we're going to push with the back foot now. Let our arms come down. Stand on that right foot and stand up. Cool. You guys are all pointing in the correct direction. Especially, I see some of the newer people really laughing, and I see some of the older people really laughing too, because you remember, don't you? Don't you? Okay, are there any questions about that? We're going to do it one more time. Okay, let's do it one more time. We'll do it a little faster because it's hard to hold those positions. Prepare. Center yourself. Tiny weights on the ends of your fingers. And opening. Coming up. And drooping, pushing. Down until you can't push anymore. Left ward off. Shift left. Turn out on your right heel. You're going to turn back now. Bend both knees all the way to your right. Step, close. Push with the back foot. Turn to the corner. Big macaw rises and is on your left arm. You're holding the very end of the tail. Right ward off. We're going to bend that right knee. Turn on our left heel just to the corner till our feet are parallel. Then Queen's wave that left hand as all our weight goes left. Close, step. Right arm rises with a small sparrow. Roll back. Turning to the right corner, that's away from me, pushing out. Keep your arms there as you come back with your weight and turn all the way to the other corner. Now you can see me. We're going to keep going into press. Pressing out. Squaring our upper body to the front. Our arms go out. Grab and pull like a paisley and up the diagonal. Then we're going to push with the back foot, stand on the front foot, bring our arms down, and stand and prepare. How are we doing? That's a lot. I'm seeing some thumbs up. Is a little bit more familiar today. Don't worry, we're going to be doing a lot with that, but I wanted to get us to the point where we could all do it together. And I think we're just about there. This is a big deal, guys. This is like a big deal. Yeah, come on, pat yourselves on the back, whatever. Yeah, exactly. This is good. This is very good. All right, any last questions or anything? We good? Okay, one final thing. Let's just together, because there's probably been a lot of stress in the room, right? Let's just drag our fingers through the sand. Drag your fingers through the sand. Feel it. Drag your fingers through the sand. Drag your fingers through the warm sand and grab some. Squeeze it. Pick it up. And release it and exhale. And one more time. Grab your fingers through the sand. Grab some. Up, squeeze, Peace. All right. Have a nice day. Good work. Fabulous. Good job.
Thank you, Didi.
You're very welcome.
Thank
For a
you,
wonderful class. Thank
Didi.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good day.
I will. You too. I want to hear from you guys. So let me know how you are.
Okay.
Okay. Ah. So do you have a minute to visit?
I do. I think I've got my equipment working now.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm still recording. There we go. Let me stop recording.
Oops.